Pain is a universal human experience, and for centuries, thinkers and believers have wrestled with its meaning. In his book, The Problem of Pain, C.S. Lewis explores why suffering exists if God is both good and all-powerful. He opens with a personal confession. Writing about pain is daunting as it demands honesty about our own struggles and limitations. Lewis admits he does not live up to the ideals he discusses, emphasizing that the book's purpose is not to teach fortitude but to address the intellectual challenge suffering presents. He argues that a little courage, human sympathy, and the love of God are more helpful than mere knowledge. This sets the stage for a deep exploration of pain, faith, and the human condition. Lewis delves into the origins of religious belief, noting that pain and suffering have always been part of human life. He challenges the idea that religion arose from ignorance of nature's harshness. Even ancient peoples, fully aware of the world's dangers and suffering, still believed in a wise and good creator. Lewis identifies three strands in all developed religions: the experience of the numinous, a sense of awe and dread, the awareness of moral law, and the identification of the numinous with moral authority. Christianity, he says, adds a fourth: the historical event of Christ who claimed to be one with the divine. Lewis argues that Christianity is not a philosophical conclusion, but a response to a real historical event that shapes how we understand pain and goodness. Central question in The Problem of Pain is whether God's power means he can do anything, even the logically impossible. Lewis clarifies that omnipotence means God can do all that is intrinsically possible but not what is self-contradictory. For example, creating free creatures means allowing them real choices, which includes the possibility of suffering. A world with free will requires a stable, consistent environment, what we call nature. If God constantly intervened to prevent all harm, true freedom would be lost. Lewis uses analogies like a chess game where all rules are suspended to show that a world without the possibility of pain would also lack real life and relationship. Thus, pain is not a flaw in creation but a necessary condition for free will and meaningful existence. Lewis turns to the nature of God's goodness, challenging the common idea that divine love is simply kindness. True love, he argues, seeks the best for its object, even if that means allowing pain for the sake of growth and transformation. Using analogies from art, parenting, and romance, Lewis shows that love is exacting and transformative, not merely indulgent. God's love is not content to leave us as we are, but works to make us truly lovable. This process can be painful, but it is rooted in a deeper purpose, to bring us into the fullness of life and relationship with God. Lewis insists that our happiness is not God's chief aim, but our transformation and ultimate good are. Finally, Lewis addresses why humans need so much alteration. He points out that modern society often downplays the reality of sin, focusing instead on kindness and self-esteem. Yet Lewis argues a true understanding of pain and suffering requires us to recognize our own moral failings. Without a sense of guilt or shame, the message of Christianity loses its meaning. Pain, then, is not just a problem to be solved, but a signal that something in us needs to change. It is through acknowledging our flaws and accepting the need for transformation that we can begin to understand the role of suffering in the human story. Lewis concludes that God's love is not about making us comfortable but about making us whole.